Hey everyone, my name is Bola. I'm the founder and CEO of Clever Girl Finance, and I'm also the author of the Clever Girl Finance book series. Welcome to Clever Girl Finance TV. So we all want to save more money, and sometimes we want to improve our financial discipline or just improve our overall financial habits. Well, one great way to do this is by taking on a no spend challenge. And you can do this at the beginning of a new year, a new month, or a new week, or whenever you feel like it. And essentially, a no spend challenge is when you decide for a period of time, most commonly 30 days, not to spend money on anything unless it is a core essential. And your core essentials are paying your bills, your rent, your mortgage, your utilities, groceries, gas, medicines, those type of things, and that is pretty much it. And so I'm a huge fan of a no spend challenge, especially when I find that my spending has been high in certain categories unnecessarily. And it's another way to just bring yourself back to your financial foundation and get back to savings, improve your financial discipline, and just focus on your overall financial wellness. So before we get into how to do a successful no spend challenge, let's talk about how a no spend challenge can help your finances specifically. So number one, pretty obvious, you save more money. You're not spending the money. And so if you're intentional about the money that you don't spend and you put it towards your savings accounts, your investments, or even paying down debt, you will save more money. And when it comes to debt, the savings comes in the form of the interest that you don't have to pay because you're reducing your balances before it compounds again. Number two, a no spend challenge is a great way to identify bad habits, right? So, when you're not spending, you still will get urges to spend. And every time you get an urge, you can be intentional about noting, writing that down, paying attention to that urge, and really thinking through what is causing you to want to spend in this unnecessary category. Is it somebody? Is it an emotion? Is it being in a certain place? It'll really help you get clear on what is driving those urges around your spending. And in turn, will help you identify any bad financial habits that you may have taken on and, help you work through them. Number three, because you're not spending, your no spend challenge can actually help you accelerate achieving your goals, right? So the money you're not spending can then be put towards your goals. Like I mentioned, paying off debt, saving, investing, and you have this freed up money from not buying your non-essentials that you can put towards your goals and be able to achieve your goals faster. And number four, as a result of doing a no spend challenge, you will be challenged to find other ways to occupy your time. So what typically happens is that when we find ourselves spending a lot of money, we find reasons that cause us to spend a lot of money. We're browsing the stores online. We're clicking on the links on YouTube videos about what people say we should check out or what they're wearing, the cosmetics, the hair products. We are clicking on links from Instagram to buy products. We're clicking, adding to cart, and we are shopping. And so when you commit to a no spend challenge, then you're telling yourself, you know what? I don't want to spend my time browsing because I don't want to be tempted to shop. And so how else can I spend my time? And so you may decide that, you know what, I'm going to catch up on my Netflix shows, and there's nothing wrong with that. There are some really good shows on Netflix. You may decide that I'm going to read a book, catch up on my podcasts, work in my garden, cook some new recipes, do some meal planning. You will find new ways to occupy your time. And what's great about this is that you'll find, maybe this is something that you want to continue to do even beyond the end of your no spend challenge. So you will definitely have some great benefits from trying a no spend challenge. If you are enjoying this video, I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button below, and tell all your best girlfriends about Clever Girl Finance. And be sure to follow us on Instagram at Clever Girl Finance. Also stop by clevergirlfinance.com. We have over 30 plus completely free courses to help you as you work in achieving your financial goals. Okay, let's get back to the idea of this no spend challenge. So how do you set yourself up to have a successful no spend period of time to do this no spend challenge successfully? Well, I'm going to share some key tips. Number one, you want to set a timeline for your no spend, and you want to time your no spend challenge correctly. So by set a timeline, I mean pick how long you want it to last. A week, 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, a year. That's up to you. So set your timeline, and also make sure that you time this no spend correctly. So you don't want to start a no spend when you know you have a big spending month coming up that you can't avoid. You're traveling, you have 10 birthdays, you have a wedding, you're a bridesmaid, all these different expenses. You want to try to time your no spend when you have a calm month and there is no like extra expenses coming up where you have to spend a lot more money than usual. Next, you want to use a journal to track how you feel. So remember I talked about just paying attention to your urges and when you feel like you have an urge to spend money. Well, a great accompaniment to doing a no spend challenge is to have a journal where you write down how you're feeling mentally and emotionally when you feel those urges to spend. And having this journal will really help you reflect back on why you spend money, what urges you to spend money, and really determine what categories you feel urged to spend money in the most. It's a great way to really just understand why you spend the way you spend and what causes you to spend when you feel like you want to spend, especially on those non-essential or unnecessary items. Number 3, you want to make sure that you have plans to stay productive so that you don't just find yourself slipping up and spending money, right? So you know you're not going to be spending money. You're doing this no spend challenge. And so you want to avoid and try to eliminate the temptation. So maybe you spend less time on social media. Maybe you say, I'm going to read these X number of books over this 30-day period so that you occupy your time with your books. Maybe you highlight, X amount of recipes that you're going to try when you have free time from work so that you're not tempted to scroll on social media to find things to buy. You want to create a productive way to occupy your time instead of finding ways to shop. Number 4, make spending more difficult. And so if the money is there personally, and for me personally, and I haven't given that money a job to do, it just slips through my fingers. I will find a way to spend it. And so by making spending more difficult, you give yourself the opportunity to successfully complete your no spend. And this means only put the amount of money you need to pay your bills, to cover those core essentials, your food, medicines, etc., and then everything extra, put it in your savings account where you don't have a debit card, you don't have checks, you can't easily transfer the money, right, immediately so that you can spend it, and just make it difficult for you to spend. And when you have that buffer, that friction where you can't just transfer the money, you can't just write a check, you can't just use a debit card, it causes you to pause and think. So let's say your savings, your extra money is at a different bank, and to transfer, it's going to take you 2 to 3 days. Well, during that 2 to 3 day time, you're going to be like, well, that thing I wanted to buy, did I really need it? Sometimes it's just the time to think, a few hours to think, a night, 2 days to think, that will help you become objective about that buying decision and help you realize that, you know what, I really don't need that item. So creating that friction where it's difficult for you to spend can be a game changer when it comes to improving your financial discipline, improving your financial habits, and sticking to your no spend challenge. Number 5, make yourself accountable during your no spend. So tell somebody, tell a friend that is on the same wavelength as you, that understands why you would do a no spend challenge. Post it on social media and let your community know that you are not spending money for 30 days, for 90 days. Make yourself accountable. Let somebody hold you up to what you are saying that you're going to do. Not every no spend challenge is going to be perfect. I've done no spends where I have slipped up and I have spent money. But guess what? In order to successfully get to the end of that no spend, because we don't want to give up, we're not giving up here, we're going to keep going, is we have to remember to pick ourselves up, assess what went wrong, what caused us to get derailed, and keep going, right? Just because you buy one thing out of your 90-day plan not to spend, you buy one non-essential on one day, doesn't mean that the no spend is like nonsense and you can't do it anymore. It means that reflect on why you bought that thing that you didn't need, that you didn't want to buy. Look at your journal, write it down, go through the emotions you were feeling, and then pick yourself up and get back on your no spend challenge. And finally, number 7, set a reward for completing your no spend, right? It's not all work and no fun. At the end of the day, you want to enjoy your life, and you're working so hard for your money so that you can live a good life. So it's not about, restrictions or punishment or depriving yourself. Set a reward at the end of the no spend. So how much did you save at the end? And determine within reason what can I get myself or do for myself that will bring me joy to celebrate successfully completing this no spend and improving my financial discipline and improving my financial wellness, right? So it's okay to reward yourself within reason of your goals and your objectives. So like I said at the beginning of the video, starting a no spend and completing a no spend challenge is a great way to kick off a new year, a new month, a new week, or whenever you feel like it. So will you be trying a no spend challenge anytime soon? Or have you recently completed one? Or are you in the process of working through a no spend challenge? Leave a comment below and tell me how it has impacted your finances or your life in general. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. And if you have, please hit the like button below, subscribe to this channel, and tell all your best girlfriends about Clever Girl Finance. And stop by our website, check out the Clever Girls Know podcast, check out our articles, which we update every single day, and also check out our 30+ completely free courses. Thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to you soon.